I don't know why I suddenly feel real bad about being a war profiteer.
Yeah.
Only now?
Lenny doesn't feel bad at all. Jesse, that like hit me in a place that I was surprised it hit me in. That's all. Like saying those words, I was like, "Oh, that's what just happened."
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
But I'm
We can change
comfortable.
that if you...
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable. It's the kind of feeling I'm comfortable having, and I think is good. I'm okay sitting with it a little bit.
Okay,
If I get too uncomfortable, I will X card or otherwise remove it. But I'm just, that's a feeling. Interesting.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And if you have any like pause with that concept at some point, like even if you don't X card, say like, hey, we're getting close to this being a problem.
Definitely. I mean, look, right now, I'm comfortable with it being
please.
a background element and a thing that like kind of happened. And certainly in the moment that we did it, it didn't even cross my mind. If we I'm going to ask that we not lean too far into that. Yeah, but it's good. I'm happy to have it there as an element, and it could possibly create some interesting story for Lenny, as maybe he's dealing with some of those feelings, being with a hunted background and protecting Winky and etc. Maybe that can be we'll see whether there's time or interest in it, but it's a possible redemption arc for Lenny if yeah. Not sure I want Lenny to have a redemption arc, but if he gets one, that might be one.
Cool. Well, you can decide that anytime. Okay, cool. I think we're ready to sort of jump into it. So I guess here's the question. Do we want to start with Starlight and like introduce them, or do we want to start with Lenny to give Nova a chance to kind of see what we're doing?
So here's what I'm thinking. Tell me if this appeals. I think it might make sense because the sort of the main people that Lenny was going to be in conflict with are not present. To maybe do a short time skip.
That makes sense.
Like rather than have that like in media rays, like Lenny's now dealing with all the shit that fell on him because of this conflict. Like maybe what we do is like skip a day ahead or 2 days or even like however long we want, I guess, so that like we're still dealing with the fallout of all of that in the setting, but like the Hallows has gone to ground. Zen is consolidating his hold over the Sisters of Mercy, and like I have held off the wolves for tab that had the character keeper in it. Back open. I just want to open up the relationship map for a second because there was something there that I think might be helpful as like a device for that. And I wonder if maybe what happened was I leaned on Allison Pryor, who is a member of another noble house. They have who owes me for something. I don't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. To sort of like, get the cops off my back. But it's sort of like very, very short leash, and like Myers Cough is like I lost out on that shipment, right? Myers Cough is keeping that shipment as sort of like recompense for the inconvenience. So I'm out a whole lot of money, and the cops' eye are kind of on me. Does that make sense? And then we can just sort of like we could maybe start with and like establish Starlight in the setting in the first scene, with like that as background.
That sounds good. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to like deal with that other than say like there's all these cops here, so probably our 3 most outlaw characters are making themselves scarce.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, skipping ahead would probably be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like hand wave some of those problems.
Yeah. And yeah, Allison Pryor, I don't remember what she owed you for either. I don't know if we ever said.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters.
Nah.
If she becomes a bigger player in this session, we can figure it out.
Yeah. Part of the rules about framing scenes is that you start out when introducing a new character with kind of just sort of ordinary life for them, nothing with huge stakes. You know, you don't immediately put them on an airplane shoving cops off of it. And I think like an ordinary day could easily include Lenny.
Sure. So Lenny so far has never left this kind of Hollywood, this mock-up of a Hollywood deli, where he kind of like holds court. So maybe the question is why is Starlight coming to see me?
Maybe we regularly contract from you.
Okay.
Maybe you are a regular weapons dealer, so we just come by sometimes.
Sure. So Starlight, you're all paid up and you're not doing another shipment for another few weeks now. What brings you by?
We've come because we're hungry for more. Gestures to the deli.
The tunnel rat here is real good. Real good. I mean, if you just want a sandwich, I wave over to the wait staff, who is like not even this particular day is maybe not even remotely humanoid, and yet is like maybe this this like weird like conical floating, I shouldn't say weird here, in the here this is completely normal, just another person, but is in a like sort of this conical alien that like hovers a little bit above the ground, that doesn't have and has like 3 tentacles that it uses to manipulate things, that and is still somehow or another like stuffed into something that looks like a waiter's uniform, like that's very recognizable as like human clothes, and like this is there's like obviously I think something mildly distasteful happening there, but I'm not sure what. Maybe not. Maybe it's just how it is. But to come take your order. So you just want to keep me company as I sort of am like doing figures in a ledger book.
Yes, Lenny, eat with us.
I already ate, but you're welcome to sit here. We can chat. I'm under a little bit of pressure right now. Things are tough. I'm sure you heard about the shit show that went down a couple days ago.
Yes, part of why we wanted to see you.
Oh, so this isn't just a social call.
Isn't it? Are we not allowed to check in on you, Lenny?
Your concern is well noted, Starlight. I do appreciate it. It's good to know that not everyone's aims are fully commercial.
Why would they be?
Well, I'm a man of commerce. It's usually why people come to see me.
You know for whom I speak. We speak.
You speak for you. All of you, I understand.
Right, but you know our words too. We have never been of commerce. Only because foul coin forces us to be.
Foul or fair, it passes through your hands to mine, and most of the time our relationship is commercial. But let's not get caught up in this. It does warm my heart to know that you're worried about me. I'm trying to think of like how Lenny thinks he can use that. Right. And I think it's it's time to say. So I actually have a little bit of bad news to deliver. It's not huge, but the way that things are shaken down, things are getting tighter. That next shipment, it may be a little bit late.
Would extra commerce help?
Oh, I thought you were above that.
No, we have plenty. We just don't like it.
Well, if you don't like it, I'm happy to take it. Let me talk to some people. Let me get extra commerce will probably help, but some of these people, it's not just about the only coin is not the only commerce they're concerned about. Let's say it that way.
Sure, we're sure. We supply many kinds, as it were.
So we'll come back tomorrow a little bit earlier. We can eat together, and I can let you know what needs to happen to get that shipment to you full and on time.
We'd like expedited. Double your regular fee and a favor you need.
Expediting is going to be tough.
We know.
But I think, but for the right amount of commerce, I think we can maybe make that happen. And I wanna activate my weakness.
Just waiting for that.
Right, you are greedy and ambitious. Because this is not a time for me to be extending myself, but I see some possibilities here, both in terms of raw money from Starlight, and also I think an opportunity to try and throw them at a problem that might help me get clear of some of these issues. And I think what I want to do, so I'm greedy and ambitious. I'm invoking greedy and ambitious here, which gets me a token. Is that right?
It does. If we manage to find a way to cause problems for you with that, and I don't think that would be a problem.
Right. But like I'm trying to think of what exactly I want to throw Starlight at. If either of you have any ideas, also, like I think the current problems. Oh, you're an anarchist. This is actually easy. You're anarchist. This is actually real easy. One of my problems is the cops, and you're anarchists.
We want the weapons to deal with cops.
Right.
So,
I actually, in this particular case, I actually want to create a bigger problem than Hallows, and you can be that bigger problem. Right. So I think I'm actually just going to say, right. Yeah, absolutely. I will get that expedited. For you, no problem. It will only be a slight extra fee. And I'm going. Right, I usually hold.
So what's the other commerce you're charging?
Sorry.
What's the other commerce you're charging?
Just coin, but it's going to cost about 10% more than usual. I trust that you know who to point these things at.
Not ourselves?
Not yourselves, not myself. Perhaps some folks in some uniforms.
Did you really think we forget our target practice?
Starlight, you and me.
Besides, we want a little bit of the spotlight back.
I think everybody wins here. That's what commerce is. Everybody wins.
Except the cops.
Well, so, I mean, the complication here is obvious, right? Now that I think about it. Right? The complication is that the cops trace the weapons back to me.
Yeah, that's
right. Right, like the whole point is to distract them by getting Starlight involved, but in fact, like, not every single one of Starlight's group is going to get out unscathed, and they'll figure out who armed them.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a token for that. I
will. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you for acting in our interests.
Mutual interest. It's what I'm all about, Starlight. And I'm definitely not holding. Like, I think this particular shipment is not going to be holding back.
Well, you hooked me up with something I need as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes,
do I gain a token for that?
I mean, yes, you definitely gain a token for that. Take it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mutual aid works out very well. So what is Jasper up to at the moment?
Yeah, I think Jasper's top priority is the same, like, get the cops out of here. And Jasper is also, I believe the term is sneaky and manipulative, secretive and manipulative. So they're going to go about this in some really convoluted, indirect way, of course. Yeah. So I think Jasper could easily go to either Starlight or Lenny here, and try to scheme.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see Jasper with Starlight, just because, right? That's an interaction that we haven't seen yet.
Okay. So is this something where, like, one of us deliberately seeks the other out, or we just happen to run into each other, or
I am totally fine with Starlight finding Jasper on purpose, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that works.
So when Jasper convenes or communes with the spirits, do they have a particular, like, place where they do it that other people might know about?
I don't think so. I think when the only time that they have done that on screen, they just, like, met up with the person requesting it in a park. So I don't think they're picky about where they are.
Okay.
But they could easily, like, have gone somewhere, like, on request, or someone could have come to them, or they could be just communing with the spirits on their own. Yeah. They did get, like, kind of an extra large supply of the drug they use for that, so they might not be, or they might be less, like, stingy about that than usual, and more willing to just use it.
Also, Starlight would not have announced their intentions before coming to visit you, so I was wondering if there was a place that Jasper's known to hang out at that they would have, like, just, hi.
Right. No, I think you can just, I think Jasper is, like, I think they have an apartment, and maybe they are like maybe they have some kind of like stoop on the back, and they're just like kind of sitting on the steps and spacing out, it looks like.
Jasper, what a delight that we have found you.
And Jasper like jolts up, almost like waking up. It's like, hello, Starlight. You sound like one of them. You had me confused there for a moment.
Who is them?
Oh, the spirits. They sometimes talk with the multiple voice thing too.
Ah. It makes sense. We are connected as they are. We're looking to make some moves. And we know they are of usually interest to you.
What sort of moves are we talking about here?
We placed an extra order at the deli, if you catch our meaning.
Yes.
And it is directed at that presence neither of us are fond of.
Ah, yes, our recent visitors. They're How can I help you with this?
We would like to ask you to help us plan. We need a good future. Can you offer us some guidance on how to attain the best results, being that our unwanted guests are gone or obliterated? Either is fine.
Spirits, well, they're a little cagey when it comes to your people, but I think this is in all our interest, even theirs.
And you could always ask them as a favor to you, not a favor to us.
True enough. So, the future you're looking for, is this dependent on a specific plan, or?
The plan is currently that they die or flee. So, with the help of our toys, I guess, toys are quite useful.
I think some of them will be willing to speak about this. And I take the little vial of Mesmer 5, and I just I've already been using it. It's like 3/4 empty, and I just put a couple more drops in my palm, and they absorb, and you can see like the kind of blue glow kind of spread out under my skin and like dissipate. And who was playing? Rich was playing the spirits, wasn't he?
But I can definitely take it.
Cool.
I think there's going to be a lot of this in today's game.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, did you ask the spirits a question?
I am. Oh, you know what? I can totally do that. Yeah. Okay, so I would like to ask the spirits. Do I just ask them any question, or I think I probably have to ask them one of the scrutiny questions, right? Mm-hmm. Wow. None of those are super helpful in this case. See, now I need what should you be on the lookout, or what should I be?
I don't think it has to be a scrutiny question. I think if this is true prophecy, you get a clear and immediate answer vision, but if you don't spend a token, it's probably not going to be one you like.
Right. Yes. Okay. Well, I have tokens that I haven't spent. I have never spent a token in this game. I did this in Dream Askew too. I never spent a single token.
Well, because complications are more fun than success. We saw that last week with Zen.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's early in the session, so I think I'm not going to spend this token just because yes, complications are fun. So yeah, I'm going to ask the spirits what kind of where this what'll happen in these scenarios if Starlight, and I guess Starlight is all of them, right? So yeah, if Starlight kills versus somehow repels the many different branches of police that currently have a presence here.
Yeah. So I think what you see, right, and there's a lot. The spirits are thick here, and I think that they're mostly kind of formless. Like you have before you ask the question, you have a sense of their heavy presence, but there isn't like a particular personality that has crystallized. And I think as mid question, a form starts to coalesce, and it is the form of one of the cops that Zen. You would not know this because you only caught the aftermath of these events, but the audience would know, right, that this is one of the cops that Zen killed. There was like a close up on her face, like as she fell off the land, whatever the hovercraft, whatever the thing was, and like the same angle and lighting, like, is framing her face again as she's coalescing, to sort of like snap us back to that moment so we'll recognize her. And I think what she says is like very, very clearly, the authorities do not take well to violence against them. Already, ripples are moving through the station. Right now, Starlight is tolerated as something to distract you down here. And she looks around in kind of disgust, like that she's stuck here and not back in her body and, in the above where she belongs. And her name is, I think, Alicia. And she says, and so she sort of wraps up by saying, if they become too much of a real problem, you will not like what you see. And she, like, with one last kind of like almost like very jaded look over at Starlight, which presumably Starlight can't see, but Jasper, you get a very good look at. She kind of disperses.
Yeah, Starlight can't see the spirits, but they are smiling the whole time anyway.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I'm gonna invoke manipulative and secretive here because I'm taking this as I need to send Starlight somewhere else. When or immediately after they do this to draw the attention away from this neighborhood. So I need to tell Starlight that they should just go ahead and invade the above. Or like the in-between better, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What's a complication? What's an excellent complication for that?
There's so many possible ones.
Starlight finds out you're lying and isn't sent away easily. The authorities figure out you were involved somehow, or
Right.
there's a
I
few.
feel like Starlight figuring out sort of like counteracts the invocation of the weakness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like the point is so like, well, I guess maybe if it's later, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like later on. I'm thinking about complications down the road where this could cause strife between us when we're needed to ally or something. That was more my thought there. But if you want to do something different, that's fine.
The only thing about that is that we kind of already have all these like later complications hanging over us. I don't know that we'd ever get around to that one.
Right. So let's. So I mean, look. Here's like an immediate. Here's an immediate complication. The spirits like 6 spirits immediately, like appear to you and start like hounding you. You will be the ruination. You will be our doom. Right. Invade the between, they invade the below, and just like invade the between, they invade the below. Invade the between, they will invade the below. Invade the between, they will invade the below.
Fine. The spirits say that you'll never affect true change just here in the below or even in the between. You need to take it to the above.
I think the spirits are silenced by that, but it's not necessarily an agreement so much as shock.
Yep.
Well, I certainly hope that our equipment can handle that. And I'm going to lean into passionately believing our own rhetoric here as well. And we're going to totally believe you. We're just going to be like, yeah, because of course we have to attack the dirty capitalists at the top. the rich bastards at the above. We got to kill those people. They will be the ones who, oppress us the worst. So we need to make sure that they are gone.
Yep. You say the spirits speak. They're making sense to you. This is the first time they've been this helpful.
I'm trying to think of like a good immediate complication here.
And that kind of has some built into it, but for immediate.
Can we?
Right, there's obvious long-term things, but
we move too soon and make it worse than it could have been because we're overconfident.
There you go.
Not too much later, and we also like work at a bad time to put us at a disadvantage.
Right. I mean, look, maybe that's just the next scene, right? Like maybe this is not the build up to that battle, or maybe this session is not the build up to that battle, which is, I don't know, kind of how I was thinking of it, but like that's not the climax, right? The climax is the aftermath.
I do want to do one thing before.
Yes.
That, which is that I want to go. I'm having doubts about this like immediately after Starlight leaves. Like, was this really the smartest thing I could have done?
And before Starlight leaves, we will ask you one more thing.
Okay.
Can we count on you for further support in this? This will be our most important claim yet.
If you are you asking for support from me or from the spirits?
You, Jasper.
If you want to attack the aristocrats in the above, you have my support. I've never been a soldier. I don't know how helpful I would be in a technical or sense, but if there is a way I can help you do this, I will.
If you can help us sway more who are inclined towards battle to aid us, that would be the best outcome.
That I can do.
Thank you, Jasper. And Starlight will actually leave. So you have more complications. There you go.
That's nice because like other people come to Jasper to talk to the spirits for them, and they're gonna now kind of yeah. They could relate the same message and keep their end of that bargain, or they could tell the truth and break it. But also, I think immediately afterwards, Jasper has some second thoughts about this and decides, at the very least, they should go to Lenny and make sure that Starlight is well supplied with weapons.
Is that the end of the scene?
If that was the last question.
That's where I'm good ending the scene. Starlight's already on their way, and Jasper's got to deal with the internal conflict here. And I think if you do decide yes to help, that's acting in support of my cause, so you'd be getting a token.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they're like, oh shit.
I mean, there's no question that Novo went to Jasper to use their gifts, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's a token for sure.
I did mark that.
I was gonna ask something else. Question, Starlight, just so I understand what's happening. The slipping back and forth between the singular and plural pronouns, is that in character or is that
That's me messing up.
Okay, great. I just wanted to know, like, is Starlight not yet fully sure of this role that they've taken on, or is it, or is that just like you're not there yet? Okay, good. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to have a scene with Lenny as this is happening? Was that the?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So Jasper, haven't seen you in a while.
No, I've thought it best to keep my distance past few days. But
so what brings you closer?
I've just spoken with Starlight, and they have, should we say, ambitious plans.
What kind of shit are they getting into now?
Well, they may be planning a direct assault in the above.
Fuck.
I just want to make sure they're as well armed and prepared as they can be for this. It'll draw the police away from us.
Look, they buy what they buy. I supply what I supply. You know, like I get them as good. I get them as good as they can afford.
Is there anything I can do for you that would increase what they could afford?
I mean, honest, they came in here. They did buy some pretty good stuff. I'm also going to be straight with you. I am not being straight with you. No. You know, it looks to me like I may have to give them some of their money back because look, you know all the shit that's raining down on me. Like until I put Hallows in the hands of the cops, like they're watching all my supply lines. I thought I had a line on some real nice high grade weapons. You know, some of that stuff from the war got diverted. And I thought it could get here. And they were paying top dollar, so, but yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. I may have to do something I hate to do, which is offer a partial refund. It's bad business, and this is all right. This is all me telling you this as a response to what you've just told me, right? It's like I was gonna give them the good stuff to go after like some cops on the other end of the below, right? The same, basically be a little bit more effective at the resistance that they've been doing. But this invasion of the above is not at all what I had envisioned. And so I'm like, I got to make it clear that like they can't do well, there's two ways to take this actually. Like the other possibility, right, is that no, this is not, that's not how this game works. Never mind. But so yeah, so like that's just so you've got like the thinking here. But yeah, I don't. It's not going to turn out well for them. I don't have the firepower to give them, no matter how much, no matter what you get me. I'm going to ask a scrutiny question. What does your character need right now? And do I want to spend a token on that? Or do I want to make things, I want to spend a token on that. I have it. I want to spend it. Give me an answer I like.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's really how that works, actually. Presumably, you also have to answer like honestly to your character. So,
right.
Jasper
wants the cops gone and isn't at all reluctant to like do the above some damage in the process. I don't think they're delighted about the idea of sending Starlight to their deaths, though.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I think Lenny reads that out of this conversation. Maybe not delighted about the idea of sending Starlight to their death because he knows you reasonably well at this point and knows that you don't particularly enjoy wanton death. But right. Like from the way this conversation goes, you're reading that you want the cops gone. It's like, Jasper, seems like you and me maybe want the same thing, right? The cops are all in our hair. They're interfering with our business. Our home is no longer our home.
Exactly.
Ever since Zen showed up, right? Change the balance of power, things get messy. So what can we do? We got to get Starlight away from the above and pointed towards maybe somewhere else, a place that the cops can go that's not here.
Okay, out of character real quick. I have an idea, and I'm not sure how to do it logistically because it involves someone who's not here. Mm-hmm. But Zen's gang has plenty of weapons.
Okay, but I mean, we could just do it like, we could either off screen or on screen like have that negotiation. I will tell you that Lenny is not right. Lenny's whole thing here is that, right, like he's trying to keep the weapon, like the hardcore weapons, away from Starlight now.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't want Starlight doing that damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Starlight invading the above with mediocre weapons and getting slaughtered is like it's not the best case scenario, but like it's right now the best scenario that Lenny can think of. Hopefully, Starlight will see these weapons and reconsider. But like, also, that doesn't solve the cop problem, right? That just solves the Starlight invading the above problem.
Okay. So is there someone else that we can like stick Starlight on that would draw attention away from us?
Zen. Oh, Lenny likes this idea. This is very much in character. Lenny likes this idea.
Like this idea too. They're not a big fan of Zen.
Oh,
boy.
All right, Jasper. I think this is it. Ever since Zen got here, he's too big for his britches. He's now encompassed the Sisters of Mercy. Mercy came to me fucking furious. She showed up here. She didn't even eat a sandwich. She just came in here and was like, "You're working with this guy," accusing me of all kinds of things. I had to talk her down. Maybe this is the time to take Zen down a peg. Maybe we can convince Starlight that Zen is working is like a mole for the above. He's already taken out one of the gangs. He's not from here.
He's an outsider. He has already taken one of the gangs, and
now because of him, the cops are everywhere.
And he has lots of weapons. He has the kind of weapons that Starlight would need. So all we have to do is tell Starlight about that. I don't know that he has enough weapons, but he does definitely have some pretty high-tech stuff in that factory. I don't know where he is right now. I kind of think he might not be in the factory. I wouldn't be if I were him. The cops know where to look for him. But yeah, I think all we have to do is, I don't think we even have to convince them that he's working with the aristocrats. Just
Zen doesn't even have to be in that factory, right?
No.
Like Starlight assaults the factory. Someone maybe gets word to the cops that there's some kind of violence that they don't want to see. There's a reason we have duels here, you know?
Right. As long as it's contained to the factory and, you know, not the rest of us.
And that might, Jasper, you're a genius. And I reach under the table and pull out a vial of Mesmer 6 because we need to get it on screen at some point.
Yes.
I say, and like on the one, like, and I hand it to you, and I say, "This is for your help here, and your continued," and I had like a big pause, "loyalty."
We both know that my loyalty is to this place, this community, and that you're part of that. So thank you. I will use this wisely.
Use it however you want. It's yours now.
Well, thank you anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's scene.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So yeah, as Nova points out, I get you get a token.
Yes.
Because I hooked you up with something you need.
Oh God, I need to start spending tokens.
Yeah, well, that was why I spent that there, right? Like I have it.
Yeah.
Let's look at our relationships. You need their fix. I wonder what motivates them if only to get them more firmly hooked. I'm certainly trying to get you more firmly hooked there.
Yeah. I think that's I think we've escalated our drug relationship there quite a bit.
Yep. Well, that was on purpose.
Nice. If I want to invoke a complication on myself here, It seems like Mercy might want to get in on this attack on the factory.
I also would want to lean in on one of my weaknesses for this one. Starlight, their words inspire mobs and fanatics, and they would totally, if they were told to attack the factory, they would totally be trying to get the other gangs in the area to assist in attacking them and attacking the factory with them. So that would definitely incite a lot of extra unnecessary violence as well.
I am all for all of Jasper's devious plans backfiring on them, because that has happened every time so far, and I'm cool with that continuing.
Same with Lenny. Okay, so I mean, this is obviously Starlight's scene here, I think. Like, how do you want to play it? What's your, like, did the conversation already happen? Have you already been pointed at the factory? Do you want to play out that conversation with Lenny, Jasper, or both? Do you want to do something else entirely different?
I think it would be super cool if Lenny and Jasper had this conversation kind of separately with Starlight off screen, where they're like both pointing them towards the factory for different reasons too, like because you're not coordinating why.
Right. Like I told you specifically, look, the next shipment's not going to be as good as I thought it was. Here's your money back, and like, but you might be able to find some better stuff over there. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
And Starlight will kind of gather this information and gather how much y'all hate Zen and do not like this gang and how everyone distrusts them and they're just sort of here causing problems. The cops are here. They're gonna give a speech like over like intercoms to direct this attack. They're gonna draw way too much attention here, and they're gonna try to incite as much violence as they can on behalf of them and getting that factory raided for those weapons, to be involved as directly as possible while doing as little as possible with their members. That's what I would be leaning towards. Is that okay with y'all?
That's amazing.
Yep.
So here's the complication. All right. Some of that mob comes to like help you invade the factory, but some of them come to go after you. Right? That they're like, we have to protect our way of life. Right? Like the gangs see that Zen has basically been doing the right thing, and they have their way of life, which is these duels. They try to like avoid these big escalating gang wars because they're problems. And here you are basically inciting one. And so like they're coming to defend Zen, who, though he's an outsider, has basically been trying to do things the right way.
That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted this to be like, oh no, because I don't inspire mobs and fanatics only on one side.
Right.
I think Mercy might actually be on Zen's side here.
Mercy has to be on Zen's side, right?
Yeah. Because like she's the whole time been very much a stickler for we do this the right way. But like some of her gang might feel differently.
Well, that's, I mean, maybe are we going to play out the scene of the, like, how's this fight look? How's this battle look? How does it go?
Oh man, I totally want to spend tokens to make it go a little bit better. And I don't mean better for Starlight. I mean like more messy and more chaotic to kind of push towards results.
Tokens for that.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to spend to like the part of the cool thing about this game is that if what we want is messy results, like we're the narrators, we can do that, right? It's just when we want neat results that we need to that we can't just invoke them.
Okay, so I would like to ensure that Starlight doesn't die. That requires a token spend. That's fine.
I think it depends on how granular we want to get with the scene. Like if we're doing it sort of like big picture, like zoomed out, I don't know. But like if we're like zooming in, there might be a moment when you want to spend the token for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I kind of want to leave like other people's player characters alive. I don't want to kill anybody's character off while they're not here. And I would like to I would like to make sure that we don't kill like individuals at that level, like no PC death, but we could have those gangs, mostly.
We could have the most heartbreaking death of them all.
Oh yeah.
Right? Zen's not there, he's in hiding, but who spends all his time at the factory?
It's left behind when the rest of the gang goes off to, do their fighting and stuff, right?
Winky, you don't know Winky. Winky is the squid boy.
We can't kill the squid. I can't do that.
Okay, that's fine. It would absolutely be a refrigerating move, which is not cool.
Yeah.
So maybe we should stay away from that. But it is an option.
I can't be responsible, like personally as Nova. I cannot be responsible for the death of the squid boy. That hurts.
Very well.
Could happen is that so Mercy is already aware of Winky as kind of a weakness of Zen's. And
right.
So
all right. Mercy pulled.
Some of the Sisters of Mercy could kidnap Winky.
Oh, they already did. That's right. I forgot. Right. That's
okay,
right.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Winky's not there. Well, we don't know how that
might be there, but it's like as part of Mercy's gang.
Interesting.
And the escalating line that Starlight wants to use here is that if we take the weapons that Zen has so wrongfully hoarded, we can fight back against the forces of those above, bringing the cops down here and invading our way of life again and again, and we can step back and keep the filth from us.
I'm sorry, who was that directed? I just.
So that was kind of directed towards like what Starlight would be using to incite the gangs as a unifying enemy, as the aristocrats, the police that have been brought down here by Zen's actions, to kind of get them to take up arms themselves too and go after the initial target, make it even worse than either of y'all wanted, and probably worse than Starlight wanted.
So I guess what you're starting to hear then, unless Bethany, do you want to pick up the gangs? I've been doing a lot of the sort of the GM kind of side stuff.
So is this, how many gangs are involved here now? Maybe I can take gangs.
That just went out over the whole system, loudspeaker, right? So as many gangs as there are within at least the more local area, whether that's 5 or I don't know, I made up a number.
All the ones that are in convenient distance to just come and attack the factory, right?
Yeah. And I think an easy way to NPC that many gangs might be just the side that attacks the factory and the side that goes after Starlight.
I think they all respond super enthusiastically to that line, because you hit on the thing that unites all the gangs, which is the above and the aristocrats are keeping us all down. So that inspires everybody. The point at which some of them change their minds is going to be like at the factory or on the way to it. It's not now. Right now, like everybody is kind of on the same page with you, and they're like, yeah, let's go. Everybody grab your guns. And even though most gang conflicts are settled with duels, like they do have weapons. And even if they didn't need weapons for, I think most of the time it's just for show. But there's always this kind of thing they tell themselves that, like, yeah, someday we're going to have to fight the aristocrats. And they've got all kinds of weapons. So, we need to hoard our own. And Zen has, is known for having a better weapons cache than anybody, because he has this like high-tech factory that he keeps everything maintained and charged. And yeah, so it's like this overwhelming enthusiasm, and people just immediately start heading for the factory. They don't like wait to make plans or anything, they just go. So yeah, how does Starlight react to that?
Starlight's got like hive on the ground too. Starlight's, having some of their people aid, just not as many as they might if it was a solo operation. A handful of their good fighters are down there and helping and trying to get weapons. Starlight's personal absence as the voice is also noted, and that might be where some of the gangs kind of turn back around on Starlight. They're kind of like, "Why aren't you down here then?"
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the more astute people, including Mercy and most of the people, most of her more trustworthy gang members. She has a bunch of them, but only a few named. I think Mercy stops them and it's like, wait, look around. Do you see Starlight with us? They're just sending us off to fight their battles for them. I'd rather have Zen in charge than them. So I think they oh, and Mercy knows the secret way into the factory because Jasper told her. So I think they're already in the factory when everybody else gets there. And it is the bloodiest, gang battle the Below has seen since these various traditions were put in place to avoid this kind of thing.
How's Lenny doing?
Yeah, so I think Lenny is kind of sitting tight, like we've kind of established that this place has a lot like there's a news feed, right, watching this battle unfold. And I think at this particular moment, Lenny is kind of pleased, because what he sees happening, right, is there's a ruckus going on and there are cops being drawn there, and he's immediately making a call to 2 or 3 contacts saying, I know that shit's been waiting off station. This is the moment now, right? It's not off station, right? It's made it through customs, but getting it to me in the station from the spaceport has been real tough. Now's the time, make the move. Let's get that stuff in here. And he's starting to feel a weight off his shoulders. He thinks this is going to be the answer. This will not be the answer. But Lenny,
they've come to kind of report to Lenny, hey, I look, I told, and they ran off. They looked like they were going to do it, and then looks up at the screen and is like, oh shit.
Great job, Jasper. This is what this is what we were looking for. Hopefully they'll tear themselves apart. Gangs will be back in business pretty soon. They'll need some medical supplies.
And you'd look at Jasper's already gone.
And I totally want this to be an intersection where Jasper and Starlight kind of are trying to figure out how to make this turn back a bit better.
Yeah. I think Jasper has run off with the intention of using that secret entrance too. Maybe in animal form again. Because they turned into a tunnel rat last time to kind of hide and move faster. I think they do that again, and they're running toward this. I think we said it was some kind of vent or manhole cover or something that could use to get down there into the maintenance tubes, and just run right into Starlight, and yeah, I think stop, and Starlight, you see you see a tunnel rat transform into a person.
Starlight will shrug and be like, Good to see you, Jasper. We needed your help. This is not going as we had hoped, and we are here now, and kind of gestures holding a gun weirdly, like they're not used to that.
No kidding. You raised an army.
Yes, well, I didn't expect the army to turn on itself.
We have to do this. We have to do something about this. This fighting, it's going to spread.
The fighting is not the problem. The infighting is. Let us stop.
Exactly.
Mercy.
Stop it.
Mercy is. Oh no, it's Mercy. That's. Oh no, we cannot. We do not know how to calm that one.
Okay, look. You work on everybody else. I'll hand to Mercy.
Starlight will
people to a better target.
And I'll say, Starlight will shrug and just kind of like see the cotway and try to shoot one of them and kind of get other people to follow their lead. they miss very clearly, like they are not used to holding a gun.
And Jasper like comes again and gets the hell out of there before the cops notice which direction the shots are coming from, and goes down that tube and into the factory to find Mercy. And
yeah, the cops are here in force now, by the way, right? They're like, riot gear. There's a perimeter like there to keep other people from showing up, and like new and they're just like slowly closing in.
You fools will die as the cops kill us all inside here if you keep fighting each other.
I think are you invoking that words inspire mobs and fanatics again?
Yes, and can be.
So here's a complication. Some of them they do stop fighting each other. Some turn on the cops, and some are just desperately trying to get out.
I'd also think the cops get a little bit trigger happy here as well.
They were already trigger happy.
Yeah.
They were. I think they were already trigger happy, right? There was no. But yeah.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to incite that, make that a little more messy. I just kind of please finish what you were saying. Gosh.
Oh, yeah, I think. Do I want to spend a token on this or not?
You've got 4 of them.
I know, right? I feel like I'm hoarding them, but I also like complications. No, I'll spend one on this. I think the funny thing is, as a player, I would kind of like to see a complication here. As a character, I definitely do not want to see a complication here. Which is that, like, yeah, Jasper finds their way into the factory, finds Mercy, finds Ash, and uses that malediction power to basically make like a shield around them, as like probably the factory is burning down at this point, and like, to get them into the tunnel and get them to safety. I don't think Jasper cares a whole lot about Mercy. If Mercy wants to fight this, she can. Jasper's real concerned about Ash, though.
Definitely, that's a thing you can and should do. How does Ash react to it, though?
I don't think he's delighted by it.
Right.
I think, he probably tries to like keep fighting because, he's young and stupid and he wants to impress Mercy. And I think that, like, he just finds himself walking into basically this like air that gets thicker and thicker and thicker until it's a wall, and he just can't like physically cannot go any further than that, and finally just gives up and he's like, come on, man. No, come on, trust me. You do not want to do this. There's a whole army of gangs out there. There's a whole army of cops out there now. Go, you know. So yeah, I think that gets Mercy and Mercy's gang. I think Jasper will let any of them other than Ash that really want to do this go, but any that don't desperately want to do this are going to get away.
Awesome.
And I would like to spend a token to ensure that the gangs do win this fight, but not without being worse for wear for it. If that's okay.
Cool. I'm trying to think about a way to do that mechanically and whether that matters. Number one, a way to do it mechanically. Number two, whether it matters, whether there's a way to do it mechanically, or we should just say sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think
because I think.
Oh, I mean, it's easy, right? You're spending your token for your followers know how to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there we go.
So yeah. Okay. Cool. I can't mark any of those boxes, by the way, with our relationships and stuff. I've been trying to, and I can't. If we can take a break now, though. That's what I was kind of trying to lean towards, was being able to take that break, unless there was something Lenny or you wanted Jesse out of the scene before it ends.
Yeah, I just wanted to take I need to take a 5-minute break at some point soon.
Okay.
So like, yeah, so how do we so look, you're spending the token, your followers know how to fight. What does it look like?
We are able to turn back the cops and protect a large portion of the gang, and some of the gangs are kind of my followers right now. They're listening to me. They've been incited. So we're kind of pushing that tide of violence more unified against the cops. We'll calm some of them down and we'll get the cops out of here. There's a lot of loss, but we managed to push them back and kill more of them than us die.
Amazing.
Does that sound okay?
That sounds perfect. That's exactly what Lenny wants. Right? Like, that means if the cops lose, that means they're still interested in solving the problem. Right? They think the problem hasn't been solved.
The cops mega lose here. That's fine. They have a unified gang front, and they lost the actual battle, so they mega lose right now.
So, where are we at? I kind of have a scene I want for Lenny here, if this makes sense. So, I think, I don't know if it's all three of us or just Lenny and Starlight. Lenny definitely wants to buy Starlight some lunch to celebrate their victory. And like I think I have thrown you into the proper, like, the wrench into the proper gears here, right? That this is exactly the place I want you and where I want the station, and that, like, the next step is for sort of things. So now, like, let the cops be involved with you for a couple weeks, and then hopefully things will cool down, and then let that peter out, and then things will, like, we can reestablish a reasonable balance of power, right? Oh no, this is the scene. I take it back. The scene is with Mercy and Jasper.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Because now what Lenny wants is to try and reestablish the balance of power, and it's clear that, like, Mercy is going to be the other, like, the opposite pole. Because you, Starlight, you walked out with Zen's weapons, right?
Starlight shared with all the gangs.
Interesting. That makes it more complicated, which makes it better. Still, I think that's the. I still think that's the scene, right? And so I mean, I guess certainly with Mercy, Jasper, if they want to be here. I think maybe Lenny wants Jasper here as like a person who Mercy has some amount of faith in.
That makes sense, yeah.
Or who he thinks Mercy has some amount of faith in, because of course
Mercy has that suspicion that Jasper tipped Zen off. So
right. So I guess that means Nova, do you want to play Mercy? Is that cool?
If you give me just a brief overview of what she normally acts like, so I can kind of convey that better, that'd be great.
Tough and scheming gang leader? Does that seem...
How stubborn is she?
Not unreasonably.
Yeah, she's like stubborn right up until the point where she realizes it's a bad idea. She's also she's principled in the same way.
Headstrong and principled about it.
Right,
Okay.
but like she does have a point where, she's capable of changing her mind.
Right. I just didn't want to. I wanted to know how hard this negotiation was supposed to be, basically. So.
Right. And I don't know that. I mean, Lenny thinks about it as a negotiation because he thinks about everything as a negotiation, more or less. But I think he also, he does legitimately think that Mercy's interests and his interests are aligned. In some ways, despite his manipulativeness, Lenny is like a naively sincere capitalist, who legitimately believes in gains from trade. And yeah, most of the time he's trying to fleece people, but when both people can gain, that's even better. Especially if he can gain more. Anyways, so Mercy, Jasper, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I know everyone's busy. I ordered us some sandwiches, some pickles here. Got some sauerkraut. If you want something different, I can have them bring something over. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
You didn't call us here for. You know that Zen's weapons are all over this place now, and the cops are here.
Sorry,
more than
you're
ever.
fading in a little bit, in and out a little bit. I couldn't quite catch that.
You didn't call us here, just Lenny. What do you want from us?
Sorry, I didn't catch that before either. There's like a little bit of a.
All right, let me try without my camera on, see if that's
definitely
helping.
Clearer already.
I know you didn't call us here just to have lunch, Lenny. What do you need from me?
Not just lunch, but lunch is important. You have a serious talk, you have it over food. It's the way I show my openness to you. So please take. I also appreciate your directness. So here's the Starlight. Starlight's a problem. Starlight used to be a wonderful customer, but one shipment went short. Now they rile up every single gang in town, point them at Zen, take all of Zen's weapons, cut me out, and also create this huge, what did you call it, Jasper, when we were talking about it before?
Clusterfuck?
This huge clusterfuck, not a better word. We had a nice, calm situation. Problems were taken care of nicely. Just the right amount of bone breaking. Things were good. And then Starlight comes in. I know they've been here a long time, but they get active. Cops are breathing down everyone's necks. I know I heard that you were not pleased with the way Starlight was bending the traditions of the gangs, and I thought maybe between us we could try and figure out some way to keep them from stirring the pot even more.
As long as you don't make me put Zen back in power, I think we can figure something out. And I don't really care about you being cut out of the weapons trade, though at least I know that's why you care.
I know you don't care about my bottom line, Mercy. But me being cut out of the weapons trade doesn't help you much either. Like, we have a long history of very successful business. There isn't really anyone. I haven't heard of anyone else coming in here to pick up that market and help you out. We had a good thing, me, you, Zen. I know you're not thrilled with Zen right now, but, you know, he was following the rules like you like.
Well, I'm not helping him, but I'll help you as long as I don't have to help Zen.
You know,
I mean, Zen's not even here right now.
it was so easy for us to just point them in a direction. Barely needed to point. Maybe we should let them, remind them of their original purpose, the reason they needed those weapons.
Sure, you're really good at betraying people. Why don't you do it?
Mercy, I did save your ass in that factory. Just, it was your little gang against all of those people that Starlight had riled up, and all the cops who were coming in. So, you want to talk about betrayal?
This time.
You got the wrong target here.
This time you helped. But, you know, I can acknowledge your skills without you taking it personally, unless you're admitting to something, Jasper.
That's... Let's deal with the Starlight thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm better on the ground. Why don't you handle the talking?
Hey folks, question.
Yeah.
What secret do I know about Mercy?
Oh, good question.
And I'm not going to spend a token on this. This is not a secret that's going to help me, although I sure as hell think it will.
Okay. Let's see. What secret do you know? No, this the version of Mercy you're playing is quite a bit like
Mercy's had a tough couple weeks. I am not surprised Mercy's a little bit there, that she's a little bit more on edge than she was the last time we saw her.
Okay. What secret does Mercy have? Okay, maybe she's either got her own like plot to get free of Zen, or maybe she has her own weakness.
What do you think, Nova? You're playing Mercy right now.
I'm cool with weakness because knowing about a secret plot. I mean, I guess knowing about a secret plot might help you.
So let's say, okay, let's say I know a weakness. Let's say that I'm trying to think of a weakness that I know about that I think like mentioning it here I think would help but will only hurt.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a weakness, like something that invoking would then drive you into Starlight's drive Mercy into Starlight's side. side of this conflict.
Okay.
Here's what it is. Mercy's an aristocrat.
Oh, yeah, nice. I was gonna say, what if she has some ties to like her own deal with an aristocrat? No, she is one.
Mercy comes from she isn't, right? Like she's a gang leader and she's fully embraced that. And maybe me, like I'm invoking that to try and sort of like create sympathy for the status quo, but all it does is make her need to prove herself as as a gang leader of the below even more.
Yep.
So yeah, let me play that out maybe and see how it goes. Come on, Mercy. I know where you come from. Cost a pretty penny to find out, but I knew you had secrets. You're from up there and you're one of them. You want things stable.
Excuse me?
You want things stable down here just as much as I do, just as much as any cop does. Yeah, you want to be in charge.
How dare you, Lenny? How dare you insinuate that I have any love for those bastards? This talk is over. Jasper, you know where to find me if you have a more reasonable position, but conjure yourself out another customer, Lenny.
All right. Gonna have a hard time arming your gang from here on in, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. My door is always open to you, and I take a bite of a sandwich.
Just be careful when you have that door open next time.
I think that went
Mercy
well.
will hand the entirely untouched plate back to the waiter on duty and leave.
Okay. Well, so much for that plan, right, Jasper?
Yeah, that I could have told you that wouldn't.
So, your friends have any insight?
Well, I can ask. And oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try some of that Mesmer 6, and I'm going to invoke my other weakness that my gifts aren't fully under my control because I don't know what Mesmer 6 does exactly. I think it might have some unexpected effects.
Okay.
And Rich said something about, oh, you have to use it like an eye drop. You have to put it in your eyes.
Right, it makes your eyes go black.
Yeah.
Because it's made with squid person ink.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I you don't necessarily have to kill a squid person to get their ink, but
look, anytime something is made from person, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's probably not a particularly above board operation that makes this stuff. So yeah, I think Jasper kind of fumbles it around for a little bit because he's never used this stuff before, and like finally puts in his eyes. The eyes are like just completely just black over, and yeah, I'm gonna try to talk to the spirits. What's different?
Yeah, how is it different? Well, for one thing, right, you usually when it happens, you see like that amorphous, but like no, the outlines of spirits are both bright and distinct, despite the fact that they're kind of like not like they occupy the same space. Like each one is like very clear and sharp and like emitting a kind of light of varying different, like finely distinct shades of color that you can now really tell the difference between. in a way that like the human eye cannot actually distinguish between colors, in the normal spectrum. But now it's crazy.
It's like putting on, spirit world glasses for the first time. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever used it before? This is your first time.
Yeah, this is the first time. Which is why, like I said, what happens here is anybody is welcome to throw in complications for what happens here, because Jasper does not know what to expect.
Maybe it doesn't quite wear off all the way, and you can hear it's for a while kind of interfering with you after, as you're trying to do things.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, but I'm gonna, let's see, ask the spirits. What am I going to ask them? Where can we safely, or safely to us, point Starlight?
I mean, I feel like the answer to that is always clearly going to be nowhere, right?
Nowhere is safe with Starlight around is probably the best answer.
Yeah.
Where will the where would the repercussions fall farthest from us? I guess
I have a thought. We're also running a little bit low on time. I feel like maybe after this scene, like our next scene is going to be the last one.
Yeah, I think so.
This very much requires your interest and ascent, Nova. So if you are not into this, shut it down immediately. All right. But I wonder if we can rope the war into this.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that looks like exactly. I think it's pretty clear that setting Starlight on a side of the war is not a thing that is possible. Right. But I just wonder if there's I think the thing needs to be get Starlight off station in a way that is satisfying to the authorities,
so
but also exciting to Starlight, right? Because they're not going to leave for anything worse than for anything less than a bigger revolution.
Okay, I think I've got it. So these war weapons that Lenny has a line on, they come through an aristocrat who is like the Lenny of the above.
Okay.
So, okay, but they get them from somewhere. Oh, this is Allison Pryor.
Yes, this has got to be Allison Pryor, right?
Right. Okay, so Allison gets them from some other, maybe a nearby planet that basically the social structure there not only influences ours, but would offend Starlight's sensibilities even more.
I mean, this very much needs your contributions here, Starlight, because I feel like we don't this has to whatever. If this is a direction we go, this is something you need to be excited about for it to work. And if you're not excited about it, it's not worth doing.
I think it'd be hard to get Starlight off. I think that would be an incredibly hard sell because Starlight wouldn't believe until their work here was finished.
Got it. Okay.
But that does leave us a few directions to go with that. Could make them believe their work here is finished. We could have them end up off stage against Starlight to get them as maybe a prisoner of war or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a direction that gets Starlight involved, not by their own consent.
Look, I mean, like the other thing we can do. I don't want to spend. We shouldn't spend too much more time on this. I feel like because we want to make that whatever that scene is going to be. We want to make it good. But like maybe instead like maybe the way this goes is that we try to point you in that direction to get you off station, and then I mean we'll have to play it out. But like, you know, it creates a new complication, and that's a cliffhanger that we end on, and that's like we don't. I can't speak for anyone else. I feel like I don't necessarily need like a clear, satisfying ending to this story here. We can kind of do that in epilogue if we want. But like in play, like maybe we just end with like more like that. This is the below, right? The below is a place where there's like problem after problem after problem, and they escalate, and there's a moment of calm, and then there's an escalation again.
Yeah. So I think if we went as far as Allison Pryor is a war profiteer,
Mm-hmm.
Lenny is just like the person that she sells some of her supplies to.
Mm-hmm.
If we pointed Starlight at her, where would Starlight go from there, from getting that information?
Lenny is not going to want to do that, but Jasper
Right.
can certainly do.
Jasper
Can
Jasper
certainly
would be
do
into
that.
I know, and direct to supplier, obviously, Allison Pryor.
So
we know Lenny's holding out on us now.
Lenny's holding. Okay, so Mercy doesn't want to deal with Lenny anymore. What if Mercy comes to Jasper asking, like, okay, where's an alternative source?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how does Jasper know?
In order to get to that.
How does Jasper know this? I mean, I'm fine with Jasper knowing it, but Lenny didn't tell them, so Jasper knows this somehow.
I mean, Jasper asks the spirits.
There you go.
And
right, this is what where I forgot we are still in the middle of your Mesmer 6 vision. You maybe don't even have to ask them; they're just like downloading this.
Oh, they're just like that's where it goes wrong. It's just overloaded of information, and the thing that Jasper does understand is that, like, oh, there's an obvious target. Lenny's not going to approve of this. I'm not going to clear it with Lenny. I'm just going to tell. I'm just going to go tell either Mercy or just directly tell Starlight. And yeah, not going to mention that one to Lenny.
I'd love to have all three of them in the same room at the same time and have Jesse play Mercy this time, if that's okay with you.
That is fine with me.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So sorry. How is it? Can someone set the like? Where's this happening? Let's set this scene.
So has Mercy gone to Starlight, or has Starlight come to? I think Mercy just goes straight to Starlight.
Yeah,
right?
I think Mercy goes to Starlight, and it's like you have a union hall or like some kind of
headquarters union hall. That works.
So she comes to Starlight and says, "That fucker Lenny. He's been double dealing you. He's been double dealing me. You know I don't like what you did. You know there's a way we do things here. We do it this way for a reason. And that is the best way to eventually get to the place where we can fuck them up there. Your whole little anarchy game, it does not impress me. But this is where we're at now. You seem to have come up with something that pulls some people together. We just need a play.
We managed to unify the gangs more in one day with a bold plan of action than we have the old methods. I think it's time we combine strategies.
One day of unity is not how you. One day of unity with some kind of weird mumbo jumbo is not how you build something. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we have that unity. We can use it. How?
Exactly.
I think this is, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Jasper, as soon as they left Lenny's, they just kind of went straight. I don't think they even went to to Mercy because they didn't know where Mercy was going. But yeah, they go straight to Starlight. They don't actually.
yeah.
They don't want Mercy involved in this anyway. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
yeah, so I think Mercy isn't there when Jasper shows up.
So Mercy has just left, maybe? Is that the
Yeah, or is
so
this
let's
like,
so Starlight, how do you want to, like, you should, how do you want to resolve this? Like, Mercy is like gotten up in your face saying like, this is what we need. I am with you for this, even if I don't like your methods, right? What is this?
We'll need better weapons, and we'll need a better supplier in order to take the above.
There's no
I will get you what I can. We will get what we can.
all right. Well, you know where to find me.
No. That Lenny holds out on us as well. Which means we know they get the better stuff somewhere.
Sorry, who's the they in that sentence?
Lenny.
Oh, yeah, Lenny's got to have a supplier of his own somewhere. Cut out the middleman, I guess.
Well, more like we cut out the one who doesn't give us the best opportunities.
I think that's where Mercy leaves.
yeah, like Mercy's going out one door and Jasper's coming in the other door, you know? So Mercy may well be standing outside that door listening to this. But yeah, I think Jasper comes in.
So Mercy is not sitting
Jasper.
outside that door listening to this, but Mercy has I mean, we can, right, any one of us can say this, but I think Mercy has Beryl
Oh yeah.
watching, and when he sees Jasper go in there, he may, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. If that becomes we've established the fiction such that if it's interesting for to follow up on that, we can.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
and Jasper has a habit of doing this, like just sort of showing up in the building without knocking, and nobody knows how they got there.
I did the same thing to you earlier with Starlight.
That was very impressive. That very destructive, but very impressive. Did you get what you needed at the
We'd
factory?
like to. Most of what we needed, we need more. We intend to supply those above us.
Yeah, you're gonna need quite a bit more for that.
Need
Plant them is,
better than love.
well,
We know that Lenny keeps the best from
Lenny
us.
doesn't
They
even
do
get the
not
best.
us.
Do you think she sent
Do
the
you know
best
who
to
does?
below? Yeah,
She?
she's an aristocrat.
What's her name?
What is her name? I just forgot.
We need.
Thank you, Allison Pryor. She's a recent arrival to the in-between. I don't think she's there long. She's just there to make her money and go back to the above. Weapons dealer.
Where, Miss Pryor? Where does she deal? We need a different kind of capital to.
Sorry, you were roboting there. I missed about 3/4 of that sentence.
Where can we find Miss Pryor? We have a different kind of capital to collect with.
I have an idea of where. She shouldn't be hard to find. None of them are.
Good.
They rely on their many bodyguards. They have many bodyguards, by the way. You may want to be careful of that.
Then you will guide us. We have plenty of willing guns and willing hands at the moment. Yes, you will guide us, Jasper?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I'll guide you. I know. I know all the secret ways around this place.
Good. Then you will help us secrets to the weapons of those above us.
I'm not agreeing to fight with you. I'm agreeing to take you there and then leave, but I'll take you there.
Of course, I am asking you to guide us. We both know neither of us are suited for a fight.
All right. Yeah, you may notice that Jasper's eyes are still solid black. And like they seem a little distracted. They're like still listening to voices. And I think that's going to last the whole time but they're going to use it. Like they're going to just like continuously be in this weird semi-conversation with the spirits and find their way there that way because they were completely bullshitting about knowing where it was. But counting on like being able to ask later. And yeah. I'll spend a token to like just go ahead and like kind of fast forward through that because they get there, it's good. They get in.
Also, I believe you would get a token back as well because you are acting in my name or in support of my cause.
Break even on tokens then. Good point. And I think like I think we end up like inside the mansion. So the in between is like the houses are suspended from the like ceiling of the below, and there are these long narrow bridges between them. But like I think what Jasper does is takes you up into the ceiling and then down basically some sort of maintenance tunnel from the ceiling into the place. So you end up in basically an attic.
Yeah, this is kind of where I would be having you guide them like into battle. So like this would be with Mercy there too, like at that point in time as well.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to be okay with that as Beth as much as you would with.
Yeah, I think that maybe Mercy sort of catches up as they're leaving.
Okay, and Lenny, I'm sorry, Jesse, you are totally frozen for me. If there's something that you want out of this,
am I frozen? Am I frozen for both of you?
I can hear you. You are just not moving on camera.
Interesting. So I mean, let me shut my camera off and on again, see if that helps. But if it doesn't, maybe so be it. Did that do anything?
For about 2 seconds. It's fine though.
I can still hear you fine.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Try one other thing. That's weird. All right, let's just play it because I'm a little worried about time. Then
okay, yeah. So
there we go. I'm reducing my bandwidth and seeing if that maybe helps. Okay. Yeah, so I'm here as Mercy, right? That's the Mercy has caught up.
Yeah, I think we can fast forward to like everybody is in the mansion rather than like So yeah, Mercy and whatever gang members Mercy would bring are there. Which
we also need Allison. Okay, we also need Allison. We also need an Allison Pryor, right?
Yeah,
so there's gonna be like a little bit of jumping back and forth here. But like, let's say Mercy's here, but she's not like particularly active, just extra muscle. And I'll play Allison. I think probably makes the most sense because I think the opposition is probably the more important
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and we already have Mercy cooperating, I
Right.
guess. So
Yeah. So Allison.
any particular way you're feeling you
Yeah.
want us
I'm
to
just gonna
go?
quickly describe. Like Allison Pryor is a I think she's like a gray alien, like that sort of very stereotypical image of like the big head, large eyes, right? Thin body and fingers. Like I think she's actually a shapeshifter, like, and it amuses her to be in this shape from like way back in humans prehistory. That a joke that nobody but her gets. That's who she is. And so and anyway, so you find her there. Maybe in like a weird mirror image of Lenny, but like in her private dining room, eating eating some very, very high end meat from off station, and vegetables, fresh vegetables from a little area where she grows fresh vegetables, which is the cost of that soil and sunlight and is astronomical, right? The lap of luxury. So you find her eating this fancy meat and vegetables. Who are you people? How did you get in here?
You left the door open.
Security! Security! You have about 15 seconds to give me a reason not to have these people, to have my security just blast you out of existence.
Would your death be one of them?
Like, I don't think she even processes that. She's just counting in her head.
All right. Because either you give us a deal or you die. Those are the options. We're here for weapons, and you can supply or die.
She's just so thoroughly confused by all of this. Like, I think partly from like a place of untouchability and privilege, but partially also from like this is my house. This is not a weapons warehouse. Like, you can threaten me all you want. Like she's not used to doing business with people who are ideologues, I think. And so like who don't quite get how this all works. And so she's like she's both confused and a little bit frightened. And she says, I don't even know how to make that deal with you right now. And then like you are hearing like large robot chassis like coming towards the door.
I assume.
Oh, good.
No, you first. You first.
So I would like to talk to the spirits here. Still, like I said, eyes still black. Kind of already like listening to spirits. I'm not spending a token here, so feel free to introduce a complication. But I would like to ask one of Allison's victims, like I did with Zen, where she keeps the weapons.
I mean, the complication is just that like they're not accessible, right?
Right.
Like that's the you can find out where they are, but they're completely inaccessible. Like, you won't find any weapons here. This is her home.
Right.
If you destroy all of her security guards bots, maybe you'll get a dozen.
Yeah.
It's like sidearms, powerful sidearms, but sidearms. Her weapons are scattered in catches throughout mostly the above. Maybe one in a warehouse below that she's getting ready to move to Lenny.
That's okay. That works for Jasper. like go send Starlight off to all these different caches in the above. That's fine. Cool. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Mercy's
I'll draw them a map.
Mercy is in tow. That's another.
That's okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Jasper decided that allegiance wasn't worth it.
So it's not so much Mercy, it's Ash, and I think I can probably use some sort of use the malediction or again, like that's why I'm still here and haven't just left. Is like that, like, okay, if things go bad, I can use some, one of these powers. But yeah, so I think I don't know how do I tell you this when, like, in the middle of the situation, I don't know.
Right. Well, also, like, how does this situation resolve? So, like, are you shooting Allison? Are you like security is here practically, right? You have this opportunity to react, I think, right? Like, obviously, you as the PCs get to make the first move here, but like, you invaded the private home of a aristocrat who's a weapons dealer.
Yes.
I want to convince Allison to call off the guards. I do. I'm not exactly sure how that would go.
I mean, I think like, my guess is probably like, look, you have a scrutiny question. How could I get you to? And you have a token to spend to make sure there's no complications attached to it.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right, that's like a thing you can do mechanically.
Yeah.
How can you get Allison to call off the guards? You need to offer her something of real value. I have some ideas of what that could be. But like, we don't have to be confined to them necessarily. Like, part of it is just like a relationship with Mercy, right? Like, Mercy wants to cut Lenny out. Allison is the direct, like, line to the weapons.
And
like,
Starlight wants to cut Lenny out too now.
Right. Like, everyone seems to want to cut Lenny out except for Lenny. Like, right, which makes sense given how things have shaken out here. So I think that, like, from like, if you can come up with a convincing story where, like, Mercy is like a reliable person to be in charge of the like high grade arms trade in the below, like, that will spark her interest.
Totally will do it.
Yeah, might be a little bit of a hard sell, if only because, like, Mercy is on a side down there, right? And Allison doesn't necessarily want to take a side, but, like, certainly in the short term, it can get the conversation gets her to call off the guards, right? That's like something that's interesting.
Yeah. We want a deal for what you won't give to the deli.
Well,
and we want to set up a different supplier.
I have a phone number. I understand you want to show me you're serious, but, this is not the best way to start a conversation. And she gestures. She sort of like gestures to the unless she has a psychic link with her home AI, right? The security bots stop moving, but have their weapons raised. You say you want a deal. Tell me the deal. Maybe put down your weapons first and then tell me the deal.
Well, all right. We want a contract for the stuff you won't give to the deli shop. The stuff that goes... We have coin for it, and we'd like, honestly, for a better and more astute person in charge of those weapons. Lenny has been, shall we say, denigrated in the eyes of many of his buyers, and likely won't be allowed to make many more orders because of it.
Look, the shit that went down with Myerscough the other week, like, I'm not thrilled with him either. If you've got somebody who can be a reliable broker to all sides and who can who's not interested in shaking up the status quo too much,
I have the perfect person for you. Jasper, why don't you step forward?
Knew that was coming. But yeah, I'll totally do that. I already offer my psychic services to both sides.
I'm intrigued. Look, this is not a decision that's going to get made today with guns pointed at me and without an opportunity to vet your candidacy. But I'm intrigued. I've heard a little bit about you from my contacts below, these spirits you speak to.
Jasper is reliably neutral in almost everything. We know we can't even trust them, which is why we think they are excellent for your purposes, Allison.
I don't care if you can trust them. The question is, can I? All right. Let's talk in a couple days, Jasper. I don't think we need the rest of these people involved any longer.
All right. Yes.
How do we want to end this off? Because we're past time,
Yeah.
and I feel like like we want to do something cool here, like
yeah.
that.
Are you okay with Jasper being forced into this position?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is I think Jasper deserves this.
Mm-hmm. It's like in some way Jasper's best chance to keep the people the people they want safe.
True. Yeah. Like that's, this is not the way they wanted to do it, but I think they're kind of like, yeah, okay, that wasn't the plan, but it seems like it'll work. So, okay.
So what now? Like I said, we're kind of out of time. I can't hang out that much longer, but I do want to give this like a little bit, either through epilogues or something, give this like a little bit more of a send off.
I think we can kind of, if you're okay with it, Lenny does end up being replaced by Jasper.
Oh, 100%. I have a wonderful tragic ending for Lenny, all lined up. Good things were never meant to happen to Lenny.
Yeah. And I like good things were not meant to happen to Jasper either. And I don't think this is a good thing. I think this
no, it's not.
No, like, oh, good. Now I get to be a weapons dealer. Awesome.
Oh, and I think Starlight gets the happiest ending they possibly could have here, where they just accidentally blunder into not dying, and that's good.
Okay. I mean, like, do we want to do some quick epilogues then?
Yeah, I think that might be the way to do this.
So I think like Lenny fights this to the last. In as much as he can, he calls in all of his below contacts, and he has a lot. The drug trade stays his for a long time, right? Like he is reduced. He is not what he was. He's no longer like the spider, right? He's like a drug dealer with some side hustles. And I think sort of where we kind of see him last is sitting with Winky, who he has this relationship with that we haven't seen a lot of on screen. I'm a little sad about, but sometimes that's just how that goes. Sitting with Winky in the deli, like eating a meal, and there's like you see the camera sort of cuts to Lenny's hands, and he's fiddling with a vial of Mesmer 5, and like you can see he's like sort of wondering, like, do I cross my line or not? Because I've like backed into this corner, and that's where it ends. Like that we don't know what he does, but he's thinking about it.
Ouch. Yeah, that's good.
I feel kind of bad for him.
Oh, I mean, he's a war profiteer. I don't feel so bad for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
He has one positive relationship in his life, and now he's thinking about I don't.
Yeah, there is that.
I don't feel so bad for him. He's in it. Yeah. I feel a little bad for playing him, but I don't feel bad for him.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah. So after a while of this being the new arms dealer in the area, I think we see Jasper, like somebody actually comes to them to talk with the spirits rather than to buy guns. That's nice. And like Jasper's real happy about this. But then, they pour in the Mesmer 5, and it is just Mesmer 5 this time. And they like enter in, spirit world. And there are more spirits. And they're suddenly like these new spirits are very hostile because they were killed by the weapons that Jasper sold. And I think that after that, Jasper like doesn't talk to spirits anymore. I think they get like chased out of the spirit realm basically, and yeah, and they're just an arms dealer now.
That's real sad.
Well, they didn't deserve a happy ending either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like hurting our trash babies. I know that's like kind of what I signed up for by playing Starlight, but gosh.
You don't have to. This is purely your choice.
Right.
Oh, no.
Like Starlight has, I think, some interesting avenues to escape also. Like
No. Starlight's not escaping this. They believe themselves too much. This is their weakness. They believe themselves. And they will their epilogue is just continuing to escalate where they can, and eventually Jasper and Starlight no longer dealing with each other because Jasper has to maintain that relationship with Allison, and just Starlight kind of getting more and more fringe pushed out yet again, where they can't be accelerating what they want, and just this kind of like constant fighting, but not enough to change anything, which is the worst Starlight ending that they can get, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Do they ever try to make that glorious assault on the above?
Oh, they do multiple times. They try. It does not.
Okay,
It does
yeah.
not work. They keep trying.
Did Jasper ever tell them about the weapons catches?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Then that would have been their focus. They would have been raiding weapons caches for a long time.
I think at the point where Jasper is like, it is not worth selling weapons to these people anymore. Like Starlight is too much of a loose cannon. I just don't want to deal with them. At that point, they tell them where the weapons caches are.
Oh wow. That's
man. Okay, that's better. Yeah. They're like, look, you cannot pay me to deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
Go die, please.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that they don't die. They just somehow keep managing to get more followers show up and help them raid these weapons caches, and
right.
they slowly lose the power they were building.
They keep throwing. They keep throwing their followers at this stuff. That's actually real sad. I don't know how Sorry.
Believing in themselves more and more every time that that collective can get these weapons and they can't and they can't and they can't. That could also be some of the angry spirits too.
Yeah. Oh wow. Good times, folks.